Hello and welcome to the political forum for the position of City Council District 4. This political forum is brought to you in conjunction with Laredo TV, the Laredo Public Access Channel, and the City of Laredo Public Information Office. This political forum presents an opportunity for the viewing public to get to know the candidates who are running for office fairly and objectively. I'm Noraida Negron. I'm the Public Information Manager for the City of Laredo, and I have the honor of being the moderator for tonight's forum that focuses on the candidates who are seeking to be the next council member for District 4. Allow me to introduce the candidates this evening. Ms. Tania Benavides, Osvaldo Baldi Guzman, Manfredo Salinas, Ismael Lozano, and Rick Garza. Thank you all for being with us today. The speaking order is based on a drawing conducted at the mandatory orientation meeting for the candidates that was held previous to this forum. At this time, I'd like to quickly go over some of the ground rules that those who are watching can be aware of our format. Our panelists and I will ask a total of 4 questions to each candidate. There will be 1 question per round, so we will have a total of 4 rounds for this political forum rather. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer each question. So if you ignore your time constraints, then you will be notified that the time is up. And at that point, then the candidate's microphone will be muted. This will allow minimal interruptions. Now, during the course of the political forum, candidates might want to shed some light or offer an explanation to a previous comment or a previous question. Since we do not allow additional time for rebuttals, candidates can choose to use their time to address previous comments stated within the time allotted. For this reason, we ask you to be mindful of your time constraints, of course. Now, the time will begin as soon as the candidate starts speaking after hearing each question. If a candidate forgets the question, then you can have that question repeated at any time, okay? Now, participating in the political forum are members of the media who will be also our panelists. Allow me to introduce our panelists for this evening. Reporter from Laredo Morning Times, we have Jose de la Rosa. We also have a reporter from Univision and Fox, Miriam Castillo. And we also have one of our members of the Youth Council, Mr. Leonardo. So thank you all for being with us, Leonardo Moreno. I should also mention that some of the members of the media are bilingual, and candidates may be asked a question in Spanish. Now, the candidates can choose whether to reply in English or in Spanish, so each candidate will have 2 minutes for an opening and also 2 minutes for your closing statements. Well, we're now ready to proceed with our opening statements, beginning with candidate Tania Benavides.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good evening. For being here and just giving us of your time. We understand that our city is going through yet again another process that is really forcing us to look within and look at who we are putting up to be in these exact positions. My name is Tania Benavides, and I am running to be your next council member in District 4. I grew up along Zacate Creek. I attended Laredo ISD Public Schools and then had the privilege of being able to attend Texas State University to get my bachelor's degree. I got my master's degree from Johns Hopkins University, and I became a 3rd grade bilingual teacher, which was a really formative experience for me, so much so that has led me to this very seat, where I am now seeking to represent the teachers like Ms. Alanis and Ms. Berra and the students that I have so much in common with and that I saw myself in even when I was teaching in Houston. It is really a shame that our city cannot provide the services that we so well deserved, that we pay for, and it is time that we bring change to District 4. And to do that, we need to be brave and we need to be bold and elect people that are going to represent the will of the people, not just be there for their own interests or for the special interests that may be currently guiding and be a direct result of the problems that we are seeing, such as what we've been dealing with for the last 24 hours. I have a vision for Laredo, and that vision means that I am able to raise my children in Laredo, that there is water for decades to come, and that we are able to really thrive in Laredo, not just get by. There is so much opportunity and we have so much potential, but in order to live up to it, we need to be brave. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benavides. Next on the list is candidate Rick Garza. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. My name is Rick Garza. First of all, thank you, City of Laredo for having this forum. I think it's vitally important for the citizens of Laredo to hear us out, to see the candidates as they are. Everybody up here, thank you all for the candidates and the families and everybody that's involved in this. Thank you very much. My name is Rick Garza. I was born here in Laredo. I'm a lifelong resident of District 4. I am from the Colonia Russell Terrace. That's where I grew up. My whole family was there. My mom and dad, Isaías and Felicitas Garza, raised 10 kids in that area where I'm still living. I am still living in this area, and I'm proud to do so. I wanted to come back to Laredo after college, from Texas State also, and raise my kids the traditional way, where the neighbors and the grandparents and the parents get together in the traditional ways that I used to have when I was a kid. I think it revitalizes the family to continue to move forward. I bring 34 years experience in public service. I've been involved with the City of Laredo since 1990. I have been elected 3 terms to the LISD School Board. I've been serving there for 12 years, and I'm a current member of the Webb County Appraisal District. That's what I feel qualifies me to be a candidate here. I know the day-to-day needs of District 4. I know a lot of the people in District 4 are wanting some things to be done differently. We have currently a wide array of problems that we need to address in this city, and I feel like my experience gives me the opportunity to showcase what I can do. I did it for LISD for 12 years. I brought the school district from the lowest ends when I got in there, and now we're the premier district in the state of Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Garza, for that. Candidate Ismael Lozano, your opening statements, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you, City of Laredo, for the opportunity to tell you about myself, what I stand for, and how I want to help District 4. My name is Ismael Lozano. I was born and raised in District 4. My family and I have been involved in District 4 for many, many years. I know I'm the best choice to represent District 4. I am young and energetic. I don't owe anything to any group. I don't have any ties to any politicians. I have a clean record in all undertakings, never been arrested for anything. I would like the opportunity to serve you as a positive role model for all residents of District 4. I will remain committed to working with all people for the benefit of District 4. My loyalty is only to you, the taxpayers. My goal is to be transparent and to work hard and to be your voice. There are many challenges and issues facing our city. We need a full-time council member. I stand alone as a candidate who will work as a full-time city council for District 4. I will commit to having an open door policy, which includes being available at the City Hall and not just when meetings are scheduled. I remain connected to the residents of District 4 by giving them the opportunity to voice their concerns with me at regular town hall meetings and not just during election time. I will be accessible for the residents and Laredoans. It is important to keep in mind that as of right now, all the other candidates are part-time participants, council members that are not committed to full-time service to District 4. I'm a graduate from J.W. Nixon High School, class of 2010. My educational experiences include college work in political science. My work experiences have been with the county with several elected officials. District Attorney's Office, the idea of wanting to serve my community was born from daily interactions with people. I learned to value the importance of treating people with respect and dignity. It is important. My working experiences gave me a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lozano. Manfredo Salinas, you may proceed with your opening statements. You have 2 minutes.
Me llamo Manfredo Salinas, yo soy de ahí del District 4, ahí crecí, fui a Buenos Aires, at that time se llamaba Buenos Aires, ahora le pusieron el nombre del founder que dio el terreno eso para la escuela. Tiraba el periódico ahí cuando tenía 12 años, yo vi las calles que no estaban pavimentadas, era pura piedra ahí en las lomas, y ahora pues toda mi vida he vivido ahí. Mis chamacos fueron a Lamar, a Ryan y a Nixon. Yo también gradué de Nixon. de la clase de 1976. Pero yo decidí correr para council member porque ya toda mi vida ahí y nomás se ponen, tienen degrees, tienen el otro, pero nunca hacen nada. Nomás hablan que van a hacer esto, el otro, pero todo el tiempo se quedan atrás. Intereses que les dan les prometen otro trabajo más alto y ya los paran ahí y votan sí o no. Y el barrio pues, del District 4 sigue igual. Hay gente que está en silla de ruedas y van a agarrar el meo de las mailbox, no pueden porque no hay banquetas, tienen que irse a la calle y ahí tienen un peligro que les puede chocar un carro. Es lo que me han dicho y también hay mucha gente ya de mi edad, ya grandes, que se sienten que no hay luz porque nomás hay una luz en la esquina, pero necesitan uno en el medio para usar bien las calles, porque ahorita también hay muchos pues, rateros y drogaditos que andan en la calle en la noche.
Muchas gracias al candidato Manfredo Salinas. Thank you so much. Osvaldo Guzman, your opening statements, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Osvaldo Guzman. Once again, thank you to the City of Laredo for hosting this event. I was born and raised here in Laredo, Texas. Attended Alma Pierce Elementary, went on to Crescent Middle School, graduated from Nixon High School. Continued my education on a baseball scholarship at Laredo Junior College, then transferred on a baseball scholarship also to Texas Southern University. Came back to Laredo and graduated here from TAMU with the Bachelor of Science in Sports and Fitness. Currently, I am the operations officer for UISD Athletic Department, where I've been there 7 years. I worked with the City of Laredo for 27 years. Started off with the Community Development in 1990 as a code enforcement inspector, went on to become a land acquisition negotiator. From there, I went on and became the sports marketing manager for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. From there, I became the assistant director at Parks and Recreation, and then eventually my last 7 years with the city, I was the Parks and Recreation director. When I was there, we were the third largest department behind the fire department and the police department with a budget of $16 million. Within that time, we were able to, the major projects that were under parks, we built the Union Trade Stadium, North Central Park, Independence Hills Park, and a lot of other smaller parks, and did a lot of more improvements to the parks. Sorry. I had the experience when I was with the city to travel to Washington. I was part of the delegation going to Washington and to Austin to go secure funding. So that's my experience with the city. Thank you.
Thank you so much to candidate Osvaldo Guzman. Now we're ready to move on to our first round of questions. The first question comes from Miriam Salinas, reporter from Univision and Fox Laredo, to candidate Tania Benavides.
Thank you, Naraida. First question would be, the overdoses continues to rise in our community. So what are the plans to lower this rate? Also, what are the new things that maybe you can add to this to help all these individuals?
Thank you for that question. As we know, when we come out in the news, especially statewide or nationwide, it is often that we are not telling our own stories. We are being portrayed in the worst of the ways possible. And yes, the issue with opioid crisis and fentanyl crisis is one of concern. We want to prevent deaths in our community. I am not, as it was said, I would be a part-time participant in council because council is currently a part-time job, unfortunately. That is something that I would like to change. And with that being said, my current experience, I actually help local elected officials all across the state figure out how to solve issues of public safety. And we know that the communities that are the safest are the ones that are the most well-resourced. Right now, our communities are not as well resourced as they could have, and furthermore, our law enforcement entities are overwhelmed, in particular, our local law enforcement entities. So I would like to take a more holistic approach to public safety, one that focuses on harm reduction and that opens up our police to be available for real emergencies and improve response times. And I know that a part of that, what the city has already done, is being able to increase the availability of Narcan across the city, working with groups like Pillar to make sure that we are able to offer services for people that may be experiencing addiction issues. I think that we need to really look at our most vulnerable populations, and that includes those that may be suffering with mental health and addiction issues, and really be able to support them and to support our law enforcement entities so that they are able to really focus on the life or death issues and to not have it be overdoses that are really what is being highlighted about our town. And yet, we just got deemed by Wallet Hub one of the safest cities in Texas. So how do we reckon with all of that, knowing that our communities need so much more?
Thank you, Ms. Benavides. The same question goes to candidate Rick Garza.
Well, I think there's a three-pronged approach to this. This is something that we're not going to solve local. We're going to be able to solve it locally, but we cannot resolve all these issues by ourselves. And it's one of the biggest things that I stand on as being your next city council person, is that we need to bring everybody together. Local law enforcement is overwhelmed. The resources are not there for them, and all my friends that are in the police department tell me so. As an ex-probation officer, I got to see firsthand what those fentanyl and all those things can do, not only to the victims, but to the families and everybody around the area of their neighborhoods and all that. So we need to attack it from three different fronts, from the state, from the local, and from the federal level. We need to make sure that we put the pressure on and we clamp it down so that the people in Washington and in Austin can realize the shortages that we have in our police departments. We really do. At the 12 years that I spent at LISD, we got to visit that problem a lot. And it was a grim sight. It wasn't a lot of fun to deal with those issues, but we dealt with it at LISD. As poor as we were, we put the funding together to get the kids the necessary help that they needed, the counseling that they needed. But Ms. Benavides is absolutely right. Mental health needs to be, this is where the state and federal government come in. There's a lot of issues that are down here, and the resources that we need from those agents or from the federal government and the state is going to be the key to resolve these issues. As much as we try to do everything locally, we are underfunded, understaffed, and undertrained in these areas. And we need to really buckle down and say, and admit it, and really go after those folks that in Washington and at the state level to get us the funding that we need. We are doing as best we can here at the City of Laredo. I know that for a fact, but there's a lot more that we can do, and we can't do it without the state or the federal government.
Thank you, candidate Mr. Rick Garza. The same question goes to candidate Ismael Lozano.
Well, I would work with our local law enforcement agencies within the state and our local, with the city as well. And just to lower the rate for fentanyl, maybe have the grants or any loans for the rehabilitations that we have here in our city, and just to attack that drug that is killing a lot of innocent individuals. And it's just a contact, like just the dust, and you can just go ahead and die. So as a council member, I will work with all the law enforcement agencies just to attack that fentanyl drug that is killing a lot of individuals. Thank you.
Thank you to candidate Ismael Lozano. En estos momentos, la misma pregunta para el candidato Manfredo Salinas. ¿Quiere que le haga la pregunta en español?
Yeah,
No hay ningún problema.
question
Miriam,
again,
can
ma'am?
you translate the question in Spanish, please?
Las sobredosis continúan aumentando en nuestra comunidad. ¿Cuáles son los planes para reducir estos números y cuáles pueden ser los futuros planes, a lo mejor tipo de programas o cositas así?
Mira, well, I grew up, like I said, in District 4, and I had friends, it all starts in your house with your parents. they'll have to teach you, they have to teach their kids values. You have to do the right thing. But if their parents los tienen chiflados, they buy them everything because they don't want them to cry, and you spoil your kid. You know, I believe in una nalgada, un spanking nomás. I mean, but now the kids would call the cop, hey, I'm getting abused by my parent. ¿Entiendes? Y they go with that mentality that they get away with doing things. And then when they get to their teenagers, they get more rebel against their parents because they want to do things their way. They don't want to do the right thing. And we can get all the funded from the federal government, the state of Texas, and local funding. But if the parents don't teach their kids as they're growing up, we'll still have the problem. And plus, the law enforcement, they have they have informants. And they let that guy grow because he's pointing the finger and he's doing drugs, they go. Hey, they never stop it. You know, you go after informant también, vámonos al bote. ¿Entiendes? And ahí está el problem. Le puedes dar todo el dinero a los policías y van a comprar más informants. You know, puedes tener todos los programas para los drug addicts y todavía vas a tener el mismo problema. Porque hay más dinero, sí, ahora sí podemos comprar más informes. Y ahora tienen los computers, el PD, y el license plate, they could check it, pum, pum, pum. Ahí va a estar wanted. You know, vámonos, páralo. ¿Entiendes? I mean, they already have the technology to go after the bad guys. But they don't do it. Se están poniendo más huevones. Para mí se están poniendo huevones.
Mr. Salinas, muchas gracias. Ya se le acabó el tiempo. Same question to candidate Osvaldo Guzman.
Thank you. I think it's important to work with our local law enforcement. I know police and fire, they're like 60%, 62% of our general budget, but they're still understaffed. And we also need to make sure that we do those partnerships. I know the city just opened up a detox center recently, so it's important to make sure that they have enough funding to run their operations. It's also important I know the fire department has a great program that they go into the schools and create awareness. The fire department does a great job creating awareness, going to schools. The health department also does a great job, but we need to make sure they're funded correctly. I know I saw the presentation that the fire department did at one of our meetings at UISD, and that's great. But yet it's only one person that does that, so he's overwhelmed, and we need to get him more support. The detox center, I know it just opened up recently, but I've heard they're understaffed and their budget is not large enough for that. So it's important for us to go secure funding with the health department at both the state and federal levels.
Thank you so much to candidate Osvaldo Guzman. Question number 2 comes from Jose de la Rosa. He's reporter for the Laredo Morning Times, to candidate Rick Garza.
Good evening, gentlemen. Ms. Benavides. So my question would be, reflecting on last night's water boil notice, if elected, what preventative measures would you advocate for to avoid similar occurrences of water contamination in the future? Additionally, how do you intend to ensure transparency and accountability in your actions as a city council member to regain public trust?
Thank you. Excellent question. Again, and you'll hear this from me, coming out of me every single time, and a lot of the questions, it's a recurring statement that what happened yesterday is there's enough blame to go around at City Hall. There's enough blame to go around with staff and everybody else. But what you have there is a symptom of what this city's going through. It's been going like this for the last 30 years. I'll reiterate, this is what happens when you have people or departments that are understaffed, undertrained, and under-resourced. It's gonna continue to happen. We don't have a set game plan for the next 20, 30 years for infrastructure in this community, or at least not that I know of. one that's viable, one that every citizen in Laredo knows about. So I'm not here to point the finger at one particular person, but I'm here to say that if I'm city council, or if I'm a city councilor and I'm a representative for this area and I'm represent this city, the first finger that's gonna come is gonna come to me, because I didn't do anything about it. That's why, that's my first answer to that. We have to look in the mirror every day to every person that's here at the city and say, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? You know, the city, la gente de esta ciudad no pide mucho, pero merecen más de lo que le estamos dando. Esta gente pobrecita de aquí de esta ciudad no merece este tratamiento. Acaban de subir los réditos del agua. The water rates just went up. And you're telling me the first, because it happened October 1st, and you're telling me the first week of October and the water system goes down? It's a total embarrassment. And it's intolerable and it's unacceptable. Well, going in there, number one thing that a city council person needs to do is get their hands dirty. I have the experience to deal with that situation. I'm not gonna tell you right now that I'm gonna go out there and solve it, but I can darn well tell you that there will be a game plan in place within the first year of me being here that's gonna set up this city for the next 30 years.
Thank you to candidate Rick Garza. The same question goes to candidate Ismael Lozano.
Okay. Yes, like I was sitting here yesterday with the other debates, I found about that news. And just to believe it, it was really bad news. Think about your loved ones, the grandparents, and your pets. Drinking that water is so bad. And of course, whoever to drop the ball, it needs to be accountable and solve the problem towards that, the water that is not being cleaned. And it's not that it happened just yesterday. I mean, it happened so many years that problem is going on. And we just need to, well, if elected, I mean, we just need to look into that department. What is that is missing, like personnel or the director? What is it that he needs for the water to be clean? And yeah, that's my response. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you to candidate Ismael Lozano. The same question goes to candidate Manfredo Salinas. Señor Salinas, le vamos a hacer la pregunta en español. Viene de la...
I'll talk about it.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to understand the question.
Okay.
Usted nos dice si la necesita en español.
Whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
Spanish.
The first thing on the water, I mean, it was like Rick said, the rates are going up. Every time they go up, they have I guess they have more income than all the other departments, the water department, because when, I don't know, people don't like Mayor Martin because he abused the city, right? And water rates were $10 a month, $15 a month, and he didn't shut the water off. And right here nowadays, if you don't pay your water, they shut it off. Boom, vámonos. But the thing is, they should have a guy there testing the water 24/7. I mean, because the whole city of Laredo drinks water. Hey, well, cut the salary from the director. Get a guy there and check the water every day. I mean, they get money. They have people investigate the supervisor. Maybe he fell asleep or something. I mean, but they gotta have people there 24/7. The water department checking the water. Well, about a week ago, my grandson fell sick. He started vomiting. He's a year and a half. You think of it, it was the water because I went to the hospital and there were about 6 kids there with the same symptoms. He had high fever, he was throwing up. And that's been going on for about a week or 2 weeks in the city of Laredo. Se hace menso. And workers know what's going on, but they're afraid to talk because they'll get fired. I mean, come on. You know, we have resources enough because every time they raise the property value of your property, and they get money. So, dinero hay, you know. So that's it. No sé por qué se me sube la presión.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. The same question comes to candidate Osvaldo Guzman.
Thank you. First of all, we need to start holding people responsible. Starting with the city council, down to the city manager, we need to start holding people responsible for the actions. And like Mr. Garza said, I mean, it's an embarrassment. I mean, the rates just went up in October, and this happens again. I think this is the fourth, what do you call it, a boil water notice in the past 5 years. So this is an embarrassment, you know, and we need to start holding people accountable for their actions. I mean, water is life, you know, and it affects everybody. It even affects businesses. You know, I know there's some businesses that have closed, small businesses. I mean, that depend on the daily consumer and daily customer. So it affects a lot of people. It goes back to what we had talked about some time ago. Whatever happened to that master plan, that water master plan? I mean, we got to go back and see where that stopped, or what else we need to do to follow that master plan. I know that master plan was done in 2013, 10, 12 years ago. Where did we stop, or where is it? And we need to update that water master plan. But it has become an embarrassment, and I want to use that word, Rick, that you use, because it has, you know, I mean, 4 water boils in the last 5 years. I mean, we can't have that. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate Osvaldo Guzman. The same question goes to candidate Tania Benavides.
Yes, thank you. First of all, before I say anything else, I just want to say that clean drinking water is a basic human right. It is a God-given right. We need water to survive. 90% of our body is water. I was sitting right there, well, standing, in 2021 and again in 2022, when we got a presentation on that screen that said that the city of Laredo hadn't implemented the TCEQ recommendations even 50% of the way. We are in 2024, and our 50-year water master plan that Mr. Guzman is referring to just got started in 2023. You mean to tell me that in the last 3 years, the best we could do is come up with a master plan that was made by God knows who, what consultants, and we paid Lord knows how much? I can't tell you that off the top of my head, but what I can tell you is that the city spent $140,000 delivering those 10,000 cases of water today. I can also tell you that council had the time to look back into an ordinance from 8 years ago and clarify language to pay themselves more money when they can't guarantee that we will have drinking water from the tap. And I can tell you that when I come to council, I am going to make it my #1 duty to make sure that Laredo doesn't become the next Flint, Michigan. Because guess what? Those consultants that made that water plan, LAN, look them up. They just paid an $8 million settlement in July 2024 to the survivors of Flint, Michigan. So we need to really stop beating around the bush. We can't be with like, well, there's blame to go around. It could have been this guy. Let's pick a scapegoat. The buck stops with us, who are being entrusted by the people. And in order to rebuild public trust, something that I've already done is put my campaign finance report up on my Facebook the day that I submitted it, right on the deadline. And I will continue to exercise that transparency with any decision that I make up on the days. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of the candidates. We now move on to question number 3. We're very excited. This is one of our first times doing this. And it comes from Youth Council member Leonardo Moreno to candidate Ismael Lozano. Go ahead.
Hello, candidates. Good evening. Buenas noches. I would like to say my question in both English and Spanish para la audiencia que habla español. So in English, as a member of the City Council, how will you ensure you represent your district with ethics, transparency, and honor? En español, como un miembro del Cabildo, ¿cómo van a asegurar que representan a su distrito con ética, transparencia y honor? Thank you very much.
Okay. Sí, como dije, voy a ser full-time City Council member, no como los que están ahorita, o otros que tienen otros trabajos part-time. Y voy a tener una póliza como puerta abierta, que pueden venir todos los residentes, que es lo que se requiere. y qué es lo que se necesita para ese distrito. Y no más para ese distrito, para toda la ciudad de Laredo. Tener juntas en los parques también, porque eso lo teníamos antes, pero pues ya se quitaron también. Y yo quiero ser, no prometo, porque muchos prometen, así son los políticos, pero no prometo, yo lo voy a hacer. Voy a ser su city councilman del District 4 para tener esas juntas en los parques, saber qué es lo que se requiere y qué es lo que se necesita. Durante mi campaña yo he estado caminando las colonias y muchos de los residentes senior citizens, they ask for public safety. That's the priority that it's under my platform and veterans as well, and the fentanyl, is that public safety, there's a lot of individuals that break into their vehicles, the senior citizens, they don't have sidewalks or their streets are not paved the right way they should be. So that is my plan for, and thank you for the question. I
Thank
don't
you.
know if I answer English and Spanish, but yes.
Thank you so much, candidate Ismael Lozano. The same question goes to candidate Manfredo Salinas.
Can you repeat it?
Claro, Mr. Salinas. As a member of the City Council, how will you ensure you represent your district with ethics, transparency, and honor? En español, ¿cómo va a asegurar que represente su distrito con ética, transparencia y honor?
Bueno, con honor, pues serví the U.S. United States, I was in the United States Army for 7 years, 3 years regular and 4 reserve. Y ya yo tengo honor. Y ética, pues tienes que decir a la gente la verdad, no andes beating around the bush, que no hay dinero, que esto, el otro, que como mucha gente dice, le llamé a la ciudad, call the city, y I wanted to put the sidewalk in front of my house, and they told me that I have to pay for it. Why? You pay taxes all your life on your property, and you ask the city for this little, 46 feet by 3 feet of sidewalk, and that piece of property belongs to the city. It doesn't belong to the homeowner. The city has to maintain it. You pay taxes, and they never do it. No, you have to pay your own sidewalk. Come on, the city's supposed to put the sidewalk there. They should, pero había councilmen que, like I said, I mean, they want more money for the city, y para como raise. Pero really, yeah, any meeting, decirle a tus constituencies, la gente ahí del District 4, mira, esto pasó, se va a hacer así, para que ellos también estén informados cómo trabaja la ciudad, cómo va el concilio. No, pasa algo que secreto, se van a ir al cuartito allá, y hablan, hey, lo hacemos así, ¿qué es eso? And then they even tell you what happened in the close room. Ahí hacen un deal con el city manager. Pero de los councilmen que están ya juntos, tienen que decirle a sus votantes qué pasó en el cuartito, pero no dicen nada, porque salen todos corridos. ¿Entiendes? I mean, si yo soy electado, yo les voy a decir a mi gente qué pasó, qué está pasando en la ciudad.
Muchas gracias, el señor Salinas. The same question goes to candidate Osvaldo Guzman.
As a council member, it's important to be hands-on. I would be hands-on. I know walking the District 4, there's some sections that have been forgotten that we need to go back and beautify. You know, at one time, the city of Laredo had Operation Cleanup. You know, we need to go back to those things. You know, and have like Mr. Lozano was saying. You need to be out there in the public. You know, you need to have those town hall meetings. Those are very important. When I was at the Parks and Recreation, we used to have those town hall meetings, and it's good because they want to meet you. They want to know who they're talking to, and it's important to answer their calls. You know, one of the things I am going to do is there's that 311 report. So I'm going to ask for that 311 report every month and see what came in and what has been done. So that's going to be very important, getting those 311 reports and see what complaints they had. So, thank you.
Thank you to candidate Osvaldo Guzman. The same question goes to candidate Tania Benavides.
Thank you for that question, and thank you for being a youth leader in our community. We very desperately need more of you. The first thing that I would do in order to be able to lead with ethics and transparency and honor is, I know that we all block walk because we're running for office. I want to have the same sort of exercise once I'm elected, to continue to get input from the people and let them know that I'm not just going to show up at their doors when I need their votes. I am a working class eldest daughter of 9 children. My dad and my youngest sister, who could be my daughter, are sitting right here. And I know that the importance of having a full-time office in City Council. I was in the City Charter Revision Commission, and we had the conversation, and it didn't go very far. But I firmly believe that we need fully staffed offices in City Council. We need to have a physical office where people can come and really reach us for constituent services. We need to make sure that we have the same extension in our websites, and we need to have real conversations about the way decisions are being made. Because to go back to the decision that was made not too long ago that has now left us with a de facto increase for City Council people without the guardrails and without the requirement of making it a full-time job, which I fully believe that it should be, then we're not doing the right, we're doing a disservice to our community. We're contributing to that lack of trust that makes people not want to get engaged, not want to turn out and vote. And in order to beat that lack of transparency and rebuild the public trust, we really need to engage the public and open them and welcome them to be having the hard conversations, like, should City Council members get a full-time job? Yes or no? Not just make the decision and then say that that's not what decision that is being made, but then turn around and make it. And now I would like to see everybody's paychecks. Are they getting paid more, yes or no? And if they are, then it was a raise.
Thank you so much, candidate Tania Benavides. The same question goes to candidate Rick Garza.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for doing what you do. Very important. As I laid out earlier, the youth is very important. Your generation is what's going to save this country, is what's going to save this city. We're going to try and get you there, though. All right? There's no shortcuts to success. At LISD, the first thing that I did when I got there, there was what I thought was a lack of transparency throughout the district. Maybe not through no fault of their own. I've never been out here to try and point fingers at anybody and what they're doing wrong. I just need to do my job and things will get done. So, let me get this out of the way here. So, the formula to that will always be, for me, honor, integrity, and commitment. Transparency will take care of itself if you do that. I've been doing that for 12 years at LISD. It is something great to see when people get involved and follow the same game plan and set out a game plan and everybody follows in the same footsteps. Transparency will take care of itself. Why? Because people like success. And when there's success, you don't have people starting to look at who to blame and what to do and why isn't it transparent what's going on. I really think that I wouldn't have gotten elected 3 times to the LISD school board had I not been doing that. But I worked very, very hard. It is a volunteer position. It is a non-paid position. So the thousands upon thousands of hours that I volunteered for in doing that was a labor of love for me. But the greatest joy that I had in doing that is what I'm going to bring to the city: honor, integrity, and commitment. Once you get those things done, I think everybody joins in. I think everybody likes a winner. I think everybody likes to have a good game plan. I think human beings in general like to have a structured plan of action. Once we have that, and I think we will, and I know we will, me being there, there's no way that the transparency part or the transparency factor cannot be followed, because it's always going to be there.
Thank you so much for all the candidates. Thank you again for the question, Leonardo, from the Youth Council. And we're now ready for the final round of questioning. This final question comes from the members of our community. They were able to submit these questions through our social media, through an actual link that we were asking them to do. So let me ask one of the questions from the community at this moment. The question from the community is what will you do to address the infrastructure needs of our city, such as increasing traffic,
and paving of the streets. And that question first goes to candidate Manfredo Salinas.
Okay, the first thing I would do is zoning planning. You know, I was a builder in the nineties, so I know I know they build subdivisions from one way in, one way out. I mean, come on. They never had a vision that they need another exit. Just like when you have a fire in the house, you have two exits, front and back. And this guy's always built the subdivision. You go one in and you go out one eye out. I mean, and they start doing like that. Plus, and the subdivisions, I don't know, the zoning planning commissioners were in charge. They build the streets not wide enough so you could park your car on both sides and have both of them come, back and forth. And they should have, for the city of Laredo, they should have visioned that, hey, Laredo's growing. You have to get another exit. But they're not doing that. They're still not doing that because the developer está enojado with the other guy who owns the land over there, or some reason or all. But the zoning planning is the one to blame for that on the city of Laredo. They're not doing their subdivision planning right. And the ones they hired, the ones they put there are we go back again, they're ex-commissioners, ex-councilmen. They don't know anything about planning. They're all thinking about just getting things right for whoever put them in there. So we have to have a zoning planning commission. They have the vision for the future of Laredo. So all this traffic that we have right now, won't happen. But there's a way you can fix it. But we have to get land from private owners.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. The same question goes to candidate Osvaldo Guzman.
Thank you. First thing is, we need to sit down with our traffic department and see what the cost is and see what plan they have in place right now. Also, we need to work with TxDOT and see what plans they have. I know there's that MPO that also has a plan out there that we need to study and follow. I know what we see right now, the Loop 20 widening, that was something that was planned 10 years ago, and we're just starting to see the work that's being done. But we also need to go secure more funding at the federal and state level, because we need the help to grow. I remember when they first started talking about the Bartlett extension, and people were complaining, well, we don't need it, and now, I mean, it's overused now. We need some more streets like that, some more outlets like that. So we do need to follow that MPO plan and see what we can help the city with, which is in desperate need with the traffic problem.
Thank you so much, candidate Osvaldo Guzman. The same question goes to candidate Tania Benavides.
Thank you for that question. I think it goes without saying that Laredo has been one of the fastest growing cities in recent years, maybe not as fast now as it was about 10 years ago, but it's very clear that the position that we're in now, where we don't prioritize our basic maintenance and our basic repairs of infrastructure to be able to support that growth, has us in the predicament that we are today, where we find ourselves having to bond and borrow money to be able to pay for basic things that we should already have, especially being the #1 port in the country, that we need to be able to sustain that growth and to be able to build on it for years to come, but we can't do it alone, unfortunately. So looking at things like the bipartisan infrastructure law bill and what monies are available to be able to supplement with federal money, the repairs that we need in our cities is one thing that I would do. Another thing that I would do is look at our discretionary funds. And we all know and we are upset at the way that council is able to just use that money to their disposition without us knowing whether the money is being used the best way that it can be. So why not proportion a number of those funds for these repairs that we so desperately need so that we don't go without sidewalks. We can improve our lighting and join the 21st century with LED lighting as we have seen in so many other cities, and really be able to look at the technology that is needed to be able to support our transportation and our traffic increases. Thank you.
Thank you to candidate Tania Benavides. The same question goes to candidate Rick Garza.
Thank you for the question. Get closer to this thing. The traffic issues that we have currently, as everybody mentioned earlier, everything that we talked about that has to do physically with the city of Laredo is that I feel personally, for the last 20, 30 years, this city has been playing defense at all times. We haven't had a proactive approach to these type of situations, including water infrastructure, traffic, lighting issues, everything that we had. A lot of these things, we were talking about it back in the 90s. We've been since the 90s, we've been one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. So it can't be said that we haven't been discussing it. The question is gonna be, what are we doing about it? And the infrastructure plan that we had in place back in the late or early or mid 90s, I believe we didn't follow through on it. And whether it be because of resources, financial resources, because of cooperation from the federal and state, and state level, we're not there, is a direct symptom. This is the problems that we get when we don't get everybody involved. The traffic that we see on District 4 hugely come with the stuff that you have on Bartlett, on Saunders Street at 5 o'clock, on Clark Boulevard at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's ridiculous because we haven't been able to resolve that issue, even if we start going and opening up cross lanes to try and alleviate some of that traffic. It's gonna take a lot of thinking, and it's not something that you're gonna solve overnight. But if you don't get everybody together to try and work together to try and solve these issues, and not from just, because it's very easy to complain about what the problems are. The real issue is how you're gonna fix it, and where do you get the monies, and how do you sit people down and convince them that this is how the way we're gonna do it. So I believe I have a game plan for that, and hopefully it'll come through. Thank you.
Thank you so much to candidate Rick Garza. The same question goes to candidate Ismael Lozano.
Yes, thank you for the question. I will work with the state and federal officials for funding and meet with fair and effective laws and policies that we affect for our transportation industry. Work with the companies in the transportation, logistics, warehouse industries, and custom brokers too. And also have the traffic management system implement smart traffic management system that utilize real-time data to optimize traffic flow. This can include the adaptive traffic signals, real-time traffic updates, and congestion pricing to discourage peak hour driving. Also something that we don't have within the District 4 for the residents, and you see in other cities like San Antonio or Austin, or within our here district and city of Laredo, is cycling and walking infrastructure. We need to develop those kinds of streets for the bikers to ride their bikes. Sometimes they don't respect them, so we just need to force regulations for them to ride their bikes safely. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the candidates. Thank you so much to our panelists for all the great questions for tonight in tonight's debate. And it is now time for closing statements, beginning with candidate Osvaldo Guzman. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Once again, thank you for hosting this event. I'll go back to talk about my years with the city, 27 years. But first, this is dear to me because my dad also worked for the city for 34 years, and he was recognized here in this same building here at council chambers. And for me, working 27 years, I bring that experience. Like I said, I did work with community development, so that's where I learned customer service. I went on to CVB. That's where I learned economic development and how important it is to bring, I was a sports marketing manager, but to bring in tournaments and stuff like that. Currently, I am part of the Board Olympics, and the amount of people that we bring in with the 13 different tournaments is a great revenue source for the city of Laredo. But with my experience, I was working with the city. I know how the city works, how working with the departments. I stood there in front of council for 8-9 years and got grilled by council also, you know. So I know how the city works. I mean, when I come in, it's not a learning process. I know I know what I need to do, and we're gonna start working as day one. You know, there's not a learning process, so it's a goal. It's a goal.
Thank you so much to candidate Osvaldo Guzman. Next is Ismael Lozano. Your closing statements, please.
I want to thank the City of Laredo for the opportunity to listen about myself and what I stand for District 4. I'm the only candidate who has vowed to be a full-time council member for $70,000 a year. You deserve a council member who will be accessible to you. The residents of District 4, the city faces many issues on a daily basis that it requires a full-time council member. When you need to talk to me, I will be at the City Hall, not just when the meeting is scheduled. I will have regular town hall meetings with residents of District 4 to hear their concerns, not just during the election time. I will be accessible to not only the residents of District 4, but the city employees as well. I will be transparent and be objective about the issues. Have no special ties to anyone or to any group. My loyalty is to the taxpayers and the residents of District 4. Y esta silla que está acá atrás de mí no va a ser mía y no de los consumidores. Esa silla es de los residentes del Distrito 4. I represent the District 4, pero esa silla va a ser para los residentes del Distrito 4, para todos. I respectfully ask that you give me the opportunity to represent you, to represent me, I'm sorry. I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Early voting begins on October 21st through November 1st. Thank you.
Thank you so much to candidate Ismael Lozano. Manfredo Salinas, you have 2 minutes for your closing statement, sir.
If I get elected here for City Council, District 4, the first thing they would do is try to coordinate those rest of the councilmen, because they have to get together so they could put the city manager to work, so he could do, because this is a city manager controlled city. So if the city manager doesn't like the project, he ain't gonna approve it. And you can't go over and tell him about supervisors. He has to fire them and hire them. So the first thing is you have to do is get together with the city council, because every councilman wants to do a project. So whatever is good for the district. Y es lo que voy a hacer yo. A ver, yo voy a poner lo mío y ellos también quieren algo, pues órale, vamos a dejarle al city manager, porque en verdad, ese es el que va a soltar la feria. Nosotros podemos estar ahí, pero si el city manager no quiere, pues ahí vamos a estar peleando. Pero si me ponen a mí, yo sí voy a agarrar el city manager de los cuernos, de órale, vámonos, ponte a jalar. Si no, vámonos para otra ciudad. Eso es lo que tengo que decir. That's it.
Thank you so much. Candidate Tania Benavides, you have 2 minutes for your closing statements.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to share about myself and my platform and my vision for Laredo with you. I am a firm believer that if we had more teachers and community organizers in City Council would be a place where everybody would feel welcome and where decisions would be made with people in mind. And I can't promise you that I will flip all the issues on day one, but I can promise you that I will always be a fighter and a champion for the people, the same way that I have always fought for my students and the communities that I've lived in. I have a really strong moral compass, and I am unbought, I'm unafraid, and I am ready to do the work for you, knowing that it's a big challenge to take on, especially given the current issues that we're dealing with today, that we're all gonna have to go home and boil our water again, and that we are not able to go to bed knowing that the things that we need from our local government are going to be there the next day when we wake up. That is what's at stake here. It is not just your taxpayer monies, but it is your life. It is the fact that local government is with you from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And I think the contrast is clear, but you have the choice to make. And I hope that I have done enough to earn your trust. I will continue to do everything that I can out in the field to be able to represent you the best way that I can. And to have you know that when you elect me, you have a champion and someone that you can confide in and that will fight for you to do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you to candidate Tania Benavides. Our last closing statement for today comes from candidate Rick Garza. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again, City of Laredo, for hosting this forum. Thank you all for being here, everybody that's here, the families, and everybody else. I forgot to mention in my opening statement, which I don't want my wife to kill me at the end of the day, but I want to really sit here and thank my wife, my wonderful wife, Adelina Flores Garza, Dr. Adelina Flores Garza, and my 2 daughters, Hannah and Sarah. Without them allowing me the time to go out there and express myself professionally every day at the LISD School Board and everything that I've done for the last 34 years. 34 years of public service that she's allowed me to fulfill my dream of being a good public servant and doing my job as a good man and a resident of our community. I've always understood, my family raised me to be, raised us to go through volunteerism. It was very important in our family. And we've done it throughout our whole lives. All 10 of us in our family volunteered in one way or another. I grew up with 7 sisters, everybody in the educational field, and my 3 brothers. All of us came from, like I said, Colonia Russell Terrace. Most of us still live in the area. I live in District 4, and I'm very proud and humbled that I get to represent District 4 at LISD, and I'm hoping that you have the confidence in me and give me the honor of representing you here at City Council. District 4 is a microcosm of the City of Laredo. The same needs that District 4 has, whether it be sidewalks, the streets, the lighting, especially lighting, is a microcosm of the rest of the city and all the needs that it needs. All the problems that it has overall in the city is what we have there in District 4. I promise you, there will be no stone unturned when I'm in here. Everything will be studied, everything will be talked about. Communication is not going to be an issue with me. I did it for 12 years at LISD, and there is the reason why LISD has been super successful over the last 12 years. And all the kids that have been graduating from there are graduating with higher standards because of the higher standards that we set for the professionals. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the candidates. This concludes our political forum for the office of City Council Member for District 4. This is a public service to the citizens of Laredo and is brought to you again by the City of Laredo, Laredo TV, the Public Access Channel, and the City Public Information Office. Please make sure you cast your vote on Election Day, which is Tuesday, November 5th. Remember, early voting also starts Monday, October 21st, and it runs through Friday, November 1st. If you would like any information on this election, please contact the Webb County Elections Office at 956-523-4050, or you can also log to our City of Laredo website. The information is there too at cityoflaredo.com. Once again, thank you for watching this very important political forum. Thank you so much.
Good to see you again.